And we're off! Welcome to the 45th episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with the magnificent Risky! Say hello, Risky!
Hello!
Alright, and today's a very special episode because we have some really fun and exciting stuff to share with you guys. I don't know if you remember that in one of the past episodes we said that we were holding on to a big secret, right? And there was something very exciting on the horizon that we were waiting for, and it's finally here. So Risky, can you please let us know what this big secret was all along?
Whoa, so yeah, as you guys can see, well, it's not so much of a big secret anymore, but it's still a lot of information was not really unveiled. Our team has actually announced, by the time of this video release, our team has announced that we are releasing a new feature called a dual brief burst. But it's more than that. Actually, this is the first time that we're going to share with you guys the so-called our Brave Frontier Global version 2.0, which we call Brave Frontier Heroes Awaken.
Oh,
that's really nice.
Beautiful title.
So, yeah, beautiful title. And it's not just about the DBB itself, but together with the DBB, there are like kind of like story and things that we introduce alongside this tagline. So I can't really say more detail at the moment, but there will be further dev diary and update from the development team about this. So you guys stay tuned. But the actual feature itself will be released on the May 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be some potential changes a little bit here and there, but for now, tentatively, we will be releasing it on the May 29th.
Okay, so fingers crossed that on May 29th we get to play with some really cool stuff. But it's very exciting that we're in like a new age for Brave Frontier Global.
That's right.
And you know, with the fancy title, I'm all set. So can you please tell us more about what this dual brave verse is going to like entail?
Right. So yeah, I'm just going to go through explanation on what dual brave burst is, how's the mechanic, and later on you guys can see some preview video as well and see the list of units that come together with the DBB launch itself. Yeah. So first thing is dual brave burst is a brand new skill type that can only be used by specially selected units that are known to be bonded. So the bonded units will join together to use their dual brave burst during combat in order to unleash their mighty elemental synergy.
Oh.
In addition to their combined ultimate brave burst.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of explanation, but basically the elemental synergy is a new thing that kind of like a special effect that will come in depending on the pairing of the element of the unit itself. So our dual brave burst is not just limited to the mono element, but we are some unit have different element pairing as well.
I see.
Yeah. And then their combined ultimate brave burst is it's kind of like taking into account brave burst on both the unit and then combining them together. Yeah.
Wow.
So
it's amazing.
Why are we doing dual brave burst? Well, dual brave burst is basically inspired by Brave Frontier 2 cross brave burst, but with some adjustment towards Brave Frontier 1 Global's playstyle and the meta balance.
Okay.
So as you guys can see on the slide below, there are a very cute column unit that is being used to unlock your unit's DBB slot here.
Okay. I don't know how that's gonna work, but it's always cute to see like little elemental babies like that, like the musical notes, you know, from way back in the day, or the little bulbs. Like they're all really, you know, tiny, cute, and very colorful. So I always enjoy those types of units.
All right. So next slide. So what are the feature or what are the highlights of DBB itself? So our team has designed this feature in such way that the mechanics will remain relevant to the BF1 Global's gameplay.
Okay.
So currently DBB is used through a side leveling that it doesn't really interfere or affect the Omni Evolution or Omni Boost. It means that as you guys can see, the biggest concern in this kind of game is usually a power creep, or maybe people can think of like, oh, why don't we come up with a 9-star or 10-star or 11-star,
Right.
there's definitely no end to the power creep itself, but what our team is trying to aim here is that we are trying to expand the power itself horizontally. So it's not so much of like a super high update to the Omni evolution or the Omni boost itself, but it is like helping to add functionality to the unit itself, like through the side leveling. Yeah. So here, second highlight is that all the bonded units can use each other's dual brave burst. So let's say you have Azurai bonded with Corzan. If you bring Azurai into battle, even the Corzan is not in your squad, you can use Corzan's DBB on and the other hand as well. So it does give flexibility, especially when you are you want to build a mono elemental unit, and sometimes when sometimes your unit is not your bonded unit is not of the same element. You don't have to bring it into this to the party. You can still execute the DBB as long as it is bonded.
Okay, yeah, that's very convenient because, for example, in BF2 in Japan, you must have both units either in your main party or in an alternate XBB party. But they both do have to be present. So this makes it easier for you to like build a more functional squad because you might not necessarily need both of them in there to do what you have to do. So that's good. That's great.
Yeah. And the last highlight will be the new elemental synergies that I explained earlier. It is basically a combination. Depending on the unit elemental combination, there are special effects that will be executed. So it will be very interesting to see what are the elemental synergies for fire and water, fire and earth, and so on. There are so many combinations, and we will be releasing it. As we release the new pairing or the new elemental pairing as well. So, well, looks like as I mentioned previously, we are going to have a special preview video. Maybe, Shali, you can share it.
That's right. We do have a video for you guys. This is the first time that we're showing how the dual brave burst actually looks like in the game. Depending on what version we're uploading, you might get the version without the effect so that you can see the sprite's movements more clearly, or you might just see the one with all the effects where it's just like sparks flying everywhere. I mean, if you've been playing Brave Frontier for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. But we might be able to insert both. I don't know which one it's gonna play, but they're both equally as cool. So let's take a look. All right, that was beautiful.
Wow.
I'm so excited. It's so different, from what we're used to seeing. It really takes me back to like when Xenon and Estia first came out. And their Brave Burst was already both of them like working together. So it's just like, it takes me back to those days. But now it's like a whole thing and not just them. Like, Corzan and Azurai, the dad-son action and like, and we're gonna have even more heroes that can do this, right?
There will be more heroes coming as well, and I'll share it at the end of the DBB updates.
Okay. So, cool. Can't wait.
It is interesting that, as you guys can see in the video earlier, there is the new elemental synergy called Blaze. when fire and 2 fire units are executing their DBB. So as you guys can see, it's an additional maximum max HP percent damage to the earth foes at the turn's end. So there are various kind of like elemental synergies. So do look forward for what kind of
right. Try them all. Try them all.
Pairing. Yeah, try them all. Yeah.
See what happens when
Definitely.
you do. It should be a fun time.
Right, and okay, moving on. So, so when we design DBBs, there must be a content that we want player to use it. Otherwise, what for?
Right.
So,
where can we use this dual brave burst?
Right. So in this slide, we are going to explain that RC7 and the Chroma Chaos has been carefully balanced to provide challenges for various different level of players. So with DBB. It can really help you to basically, if you have a difficulty clearing the content, you can try using the DBB to fight off this enemy. For example, like when you have the mono pairing, you can go for the normal missions, the elemental golems there, or when you are having the kind of like not the mono but like the double element pairing, the chroma mission is the best venue for you to test your new DBB pairing as well.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
great. We can use a new
Yeah.
function to
Yep.
clear new content. So it goes hand in hand. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And lastly, as we promised, we have like 14 heroes that will have a dual brave burst at launch.
Okay.
So well, we at least know from the teaser. From
Yeah.
the teaser trailer that we have on the April Fool, I think. It was the Xenon and Estia, and then in the video earlier, you guys can see Azurai and Corzan.
That's right.
And for the next slide, we can see the rest of the unit that is going to be receiving the dual brave burst as well. So, question to the viewers: can you guys guess who are the DBB bonded partners in between this list?
It might be hard to see if it's too tiny on the screen, but I'm gonna tell you who's on this slide
Okay.
so that you can, make your own guesses. So we have Nia, Nangwon Mu, we have Kranis, we have Tavarius, we have Elina, we have Serenthis, and Sataya, Juno Seto, Beatrix, Samira, Sovinar, Sarah Anya, Shitong, and Giselle.
Yeah.
So these are all of the units that are on here. I obviously have my guesses, like for example, Samira and Beatrix are Halloween units. So I'm guessing that they will have some really cool Halloween themed dual brave bursts happening with each other. That would be like a dream come true because it's my ultimate favorite. But there's some others that I guess might not be as obvious unless you've been really keeping track of Brave Frontier lore. For example, like Juno Seto might go with Ensataya, but who is Saranya gonna pair up with?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
The mystery is there. It's gonna be fun to see all of these combinations, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all of them in action. They're gonna be really cool.
So I guess before we release it, maybe our users can try to guess in the comment section
Right.
below.
Try to see
on
who's
which
gonna
pair.
go to prom with who. Who is pairing up from this list? Give it your best shot.
All right. So next slide, we are going to slightly summarize what are the DBB, how the DBB will work. So the key takeaway here is that players can only gain synergy shards through a certain methods. So at the moment, we are still doing on the balancing phase, so we can't really share exactly how you can gain the synergy shard. And whatever you see in the video is still a work in progress version, but rest assured that before we release the feature, there will be another dev diary follow up for you guys to explain on how you can gain the synergy shards.
Right, we need the details.
Yep, and as mentioned earlier, you do not need to have both units in your squad to execute their DBB.
Nice.
So it's more of like you just need to bring one of the unit. As long as the unit is bonded with another unit, you can execute the DBB. So that gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of building the mono squad or building a various squad.
Right. And I'm guessing that the developer's letter is also going to explain a little bit more about how bonding is done, because we don't really know much about that either. So, okay, looking forward to that.
All right, and finally, you can also execute the brave burst of your bonded unit in place of the unit in your squad. So, you see, this is the interesting part because the bonded unit is actually not in the squad itself.
Right.
But if you want to choose to like, hey, I don't want to execute my DBB now. I want to execute the brave burst of the other unit. Maybe the other unit, the bonded unit, has some kind of like additional buff or something that can help you, like clearing status ailments or like giving a special buff. You can actually execute the bonded unit's DB brave burst.
Right. So potentially, if I bring my Xenon, and I don't have to take up a slot for my healer, which would be Estia, because I can heal with her by proxy, and I can just bring another nuker instead for that slot.
That's correct.
The possibility.
So this is interesting, and I think it will make the kind of like squad strategizing, and even if some players might want to like do how to optimize having DBB bonded units, and then for all squads, and then and still be able to like effectively fight the boss. That's going to be very interesting.
That's crazy.
See,
That's gonna be crazy.
Right. So So that's it about the DBB. So it's very exciting. So look forward for our dev diary coming soon after this video release as well.
Yes, please look forward to that for all of the important details. This is just a small preview of what's to come.
All right, so moving on to next slide, we are going to just share with you guys about the RC7 revised schedule. So by the time of this video release, it should have been announced as well. So basically, in the new, we are introducing a new cycle for the RC7. So instead of previously we have like one element for the whole period of 2 weeks.
Right.
So if you want to get the whole cycle, you will have to like wait for like maybe 3 months, 3.5 months.
Right.
To get all the 7 cycles, 6 elements plus 1 Necroma mission. So now we are the team decided to change it to like 2 days for each element with some overlapping.
2 days a week.
And as you guys can see in the schedule below, schedule in the slide itself. So the purpose of this is so that we want to make it more accessible to everyone, because previously, as you guys know, if you let's say for whatever reason you are so busy in the 2 weeks and then you miss out the one of the elements, you have to wait for 3.5 months to get to try or to
That's
challenge
a long
that
time.
element. Yeah. So
this is much more doable.
Yeah,
I think
this is much more friendly, I guess, for people with busy schedules, especially most of us are probably working or like studying. So this will help you to, if you miss one element, you can always come back then the week after.
Okay, sounds good.
And there will be some update to the it's not mentioned here, but it will be some update to like Novice Bazaar. So Novice Bazaar will be closed because we don't really need the Novice mission anymore. But we will be basically moving the Golem Companion to the Orebus Bazaar. Orebus Bazaar itself, our permanent RC7 Bazaar itself, and there will be a new bazaar called Exalted Bazaar.
Oh.
Basically, when you defeat the Necroma boss, you will get an Exalted tokens, a special tokens.
Okay.
And there will be a whole new set of reward as well. This will be announced, together with the schedule update as well, or a bit at a later time. So yeah.
Nice. All right. Looking forward to that as well.
All right.
Cool. So should we move on to, now that we're talking about raid, to talk about our raid summon unit?
Yes. So let's maybe you can help us to introduce the new raid summon unit, shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry to the design team if I'm mispronouncing her name, because there's an accent in there, and accents mean something very different to me than to some other people maybe. But I'm gonna guess that her name is Vrána.
Vrána. Guess, yeah.
Right? And she seems to be a thunder unit from the coloring of, her aura and her gilded cloak and everything. So I'm guessing she's gonna be Thunder. And Vrána has kind of like a little bit of a sad past because the people of her family a long time ago made this deal with some dark forces in exchange for power. And she's the descendant of these people, so she's kind of having to carry on this, let's call it a curse for lack of a better word. And she's just kind of being used as that transactional tool for like her predecessors for them to hold on to that power and to kind of pay for that power with like her existence or her soul, if you would. So how does that develop and what happens after that? You guys have to look forward to getting the unit in order to get that little piece of lore. But I mean, I think you can sense definitely that there's some darkness in Vrána. She doesn't look like the happiest of people. And, a cloak always signifies that you're trying to kind of like hide from something or like, remain in the shadows. So it's going to be a very interesting combination between somebody who uses lightning, which is a source of light that illuminates things, but also being tied to such dark forces, within yourself because of the environment that you grew up in or your like particular situation. So very interesting unit here. What do you think of her design, Rizky?
Yeah, I think I quite like that simple design. And crossbow is kind of like, I can't remember if we have any character with crossbow actually.
No. There are very few. I actually, don't quote me on this. I can't think of any from the top of my head, to be quite honest with you. So, I mean, except for
like so many of characters.
For Lario or something, like there's not that many nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see somebody to have an actual like crossbow, not like a bow. Sorry,
Yeah, not
I misspoke. Lario is like an actual bow. So, yeah, cool and refreshing. I dig it.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go to the next slide where we talk about our Frontier Rift rerun. This time, the rerun is going to be Drowning Darkness, which is the one that features Serenthis. And you will confront Savinar, the great Savinar, the ruler of the Abyssal Deaths, and prevent the Naga from advancing into Ymir. So you want to stop her from taking over the world, basically. So you are going to fight against fire and water enemies, so make sure that you bring water and thunder units in your squad only. Obviously, if you've joined a guild and you do the rerun, you're going to contribute to your guild's score by participating in this event. And you can work together with your guild to get Rift Mementos and then redeem those for milestones and for milestone rewards after that. All right. And the rewards include, Serenthis, the unit himself, the Olga Sphere, which is made specifically for Serenthis, but useful for other units as well. You can also redeem for Amber Butterflies, Omni Materials, Rift Tokens, and a lot more. And you can also exchange your Rift Mementos for Rift Tokens. So now we're kind of going both ways, and you can just exchange for the currency that you need at that point in time, right? Which is cool. All right.
Yeah, so I think rerun is always useful for everyone to when if you want to catch up. A lot of players are asking like, hey, I missed this Frontier Rift. How will it be rerun again? So you guys don't worry. We have like I think about like 10 Frontier Rift at the moment, and there is always a rerun schedule, and we. Sometimes the rerun might not be sequential. It might, we might jump or we might choose which one to rerun. So we'll definitely update you guys every time in the BNC. So yeah.
All right, awesome.
You're not going to miss it. Yeah.
Thank you. So look forward to that Frontier Rift. Rizky, can you help us with the next piece of content here?
All right. So the next slide we will have Vortex Arena Season 4. Finally, we are going to have the Season 4 Vortex Arena, and then as you guys noticed, like in every Vortex Arena, we introduce a new kind of like theme, like a new kind of like set of unit and combinations.
Right.
So right now we are going to introduce totally new theme. It's not based on our previous characters or one of any of our Gumi's previous collaboration. This is actually the new theme is called the 12 Divine Beasts. So it might be familiar to some of you guys, especially for the Asian players. It's based on Chinese zodiac.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's this one-liners given by our team, which the 12 divine beasts were sent to the mortal realm by Emperor Yu, in a competition to see who will be the most worthy of being his trusted assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, to level the playing ground, all the beasts were given a humanoid form, but you know, some funny things or some mischievous things are happening,
Of course.
because all of them want to win and want to, like, you know, get the attention of the emperor. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see the humanoid form. But before I pass it to Shelly, I'll just explain a little bit about what we can get here.
Okay.
So there will be a new trophy rewards available for rank 1 to 1,500 and 1,501 to 6,000. At the moment, it's still being finalized, so we can't really share it in the BNC. But you guys should look for the announcement nearing the release itself. And the reward itself will be themed around the new batch of units. So expect some kind of, like, you know, interesting design based on the Chinese zodiac as well.
Nice.
And of course, the previous season's rank will be available will be added into the bazaar as well. So as you guys can see, the Blazing Wheel, Noblest Wheel, Stalwart Wheel, Clairvoyant Wheel, Sentinel Wheel, and Tenacious Wheel will be available in the Vortex Arena event bazaar.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Looking forward to that.
All right. So as mentioned earlier, there is a new set of the unit for the Vortex Arena. Shelly, can you introduce?
Yes. So the last piece of content that we have to introduce today is the beautiful Vortex Arena summon unit called Inoko. Just look at the glamour and the beauty.
Yeah.
Take it all in. Breathe it in. She is absolutely breathtaking. Now, Inoko obviously represents the boar in the Chinese zodiac, and her goal was, you know, she didn't know how to gain favor from the emperor compared to the other beasts, so she decided that she was going to be the most beautiful out of all of them. That way she could catch his attention right away, right? But what happened along the way is that somebody kind of like unleashed the beast in her. So it wasn't, there was a point where she was going for the beauty, and then somebody made her mad, and she was like, you know what, I'm just gonna destroy you now. And so it's become a very interesting combination of this, like, beautiful lady who's just, like, incredibly powerful and just ready to wreck anything and anyone that comes in her way in order to become Emperor Yu's trusted advisor. And I don't know, she looks like she's gonna win to me. I would pick her if I was the emperor. I haven't seen the rest of the divine beast, the other 11 divine beasts, but she's already a winner in my book. I absolutely love her design. What do you think of her?
Yeah, I mean, it's like 1,000% waifu already by this time.
Yeah.
So it's really like, I mean, like, the design is really beautiful. I think it does shows a lot of, like, you know, the Chinese or the Asian influence there. And I really like her weapon. It's like pipe.
Yeah, it's very unique. Very unique.
It's very unique.
Even the fire coming out of the pipe is, like, shaped in the shape of butterflies. I mean, it's a beautifully made unit. So props to the art team for the you know, coming up with the concept. Absolutely breathtaking. I'm not one for, like, waifus. I'm more of the husbando person, but this is definitely waifu right here. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Risky.
Well, there are other 11, you know, like so-called the beasts or the animals in the Chinese zodiac. So it'll be very interesting to see the humanoid form of each of them. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
there might be some. I believe there might be some husbando coming as well. You know, our guys love to make waifus, husbando, and even trap.
Yes, and I'm here for all of that. I myself, I'm a rabbit in the Chinese zodiac. So I'm very excited to see how the rabbit turns out. If it's your usual, like, cute rabbit, or if it's, like, a different take on a rabbit. I don't know what's gonna happen, because we do have, you know, a couple of rabbit-like units already from our spring events. You know, like Bonnie and Carol and them.
Right.
So I'm looking for a new take on that concept. That you know, the rabbit is always the cute one, but is he /she/they, whatever you identify with is fine with me. So very much looking forward to all of that. And yeah, that's the last thing that we have to share with you guys today. I'm sad to say that this time around we won't have a Summoner's Corner because of some special time constraints that we are under today. So we're gonna cut it short here, but we're definitely looking to hear from you on the next episode. So do keep sending your comments and questions and concerns, in the comments below of this video. And we're just really excited for all this new stuff coming to the new age of Brave Frontier Global.
Ooh, the heroes awaken.
Yes, very exciting times. So look forward to that and keep an eye on that developer's letter coming out. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.
Bye.